Okay, thanks. Now we got the 17 attendant.
Okay, now you can start.
Okay. So hello everyone. The previous workshop is very fanatic, so it takes too long. So now that we are just starting off the webinar session, and the first speaker of this session is Jingushi and Rina Kasai, entitled Report on Our Tenmon Performance Project, an outreach activity on astronomy by Kagoshima students. Can you start, Jingushi-san?
Yes, okay.
Okay, then please start.
Okay.
画面の共有ってオンにできますか？
Aviva, can you give the
sorry.
mic to
Yeah.
the sharing?
Where is the share screen? Yes, it's. You can share now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Jingushi.
I'm Rina Kasai.
From now on, we would like to talk about the contents of TPP and what we have gained by the event. Today's contents are shown here. At first, we will talk what is our TPP. Second, the topic number 1, classification of galaxies. Third, the topic number 2, communicating with ET. And finally, we show the summary and future works. Do you know the TPP? Most of you imagine Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, but our TPP is different. TPP is acronym of Tenmon Performance Project, and it is an outreach activity on astronomy by Kagoshima students. Tenmon means astronomy in Japanese. This logo is actually symbolic. It includes 1 exclamation mark and 2 question marks. We have already done our TPP since 2017. The left photo shows the motion of a planet using the solar system simulator. The right photo is explanation of Kepler's second law through experience. She shows that 2 areas are the same using cardboard weighting. In this year, we had TPP on 2017 in Kagoshima Municipal Science Hall, which is located in downtown Kagoshima. Kagoshima is the southmost large city in Japanese main islands. Its population is 600,000. In TPP, we present some short topics on astronomy for public citizens. The purpose of the TPP is not teach topics, but introduce astronomical topics with fun. So we choose 2 topics which are interested in because interest in ourselves is the strongest motivation to improve our performance. We held it twice in the morning and the afternoon. We took 30 minutes for each of the 2 topics. The first topic was on the morphological classification of galaxies. The second was simulation to communicate with ET. This year we made a challenge. We made a TPP in a workshop style. Our goal was not only to entertain the people who came, but also to have fun ourselves. We call it fun-to-fun relation like win-to-win. We hope to change from the classical lecture. To boost the attraction of our performance, we made it to be something different from a simple lecture or talk show. We designed each style based on GHOU workshops and the Universe Live show introduced by Professor Handa. And we chose the workshop style for TPP in the last spring. Our audience were not only elementary school pupils, but adults, which is different from our expectation before the TPP. We had considered the detail of our presentation to reduce the COVID-19 pandemic. We conducted the workshop style with great attention to detail. Next, in the morphological classification part, we give the photographic image of a different galaxy for each person at first. And we posted the images of some galaxies on the front screen as a template. We gave a short instruction about what is the point to classify them, such as spiral pattern and dark bands. After that, each audience put his or her own image in the screen, in the section for spirals and ellipticals on the screen. The background theme behind the scene is a real science is open to answer. Because a lot of Japanese citizens recognize that all problems in science have definitive answers in any research phases. I realized a real science is open to answer, but respected the opinions of the participants. Before they classify, I asked, which classification do you think? Also, after they classify, I asked, why do you classify this way? They explained the characteristics of galaxy photography. I nodded, I see, and helped them put it on the board. It was classified as shown in this image. The left is the morning section, the right is the afternoon section. The classification was different between the two. The following is our impression after the TPP. In the galaxy morphological classification, adults and children enjoy it. However, I'm not sure if the children understood the term of a real science is open to answer. It may have taken a little more ingenuity to get it understood. Next, Kasai speaks.
Okay, in the communicating with ET part, I presented a workshop on making pictorial-only communication without language. At first, I talked about a short history of SETI, communication with extraterrestrial intelligence, includes the Pioneer 10 and 11, and the Golden Record on Voyager 1 and 2, which are examples of pictorial-only communication. To emphasize the universal communication, I presented the same word apple in several different languages, such as Georgian, Russian, and Bengali. Even if we live on the same earth, if we speak different languages, we can't communicate. I also showed a picture of a clock. I told them that what I wanted to convey was not clock but time. It is difficult to transfer a message exactly, especially between people on Earth. It takes creativity to get the message across accurately. After the explanations, we divided the participants into two groups and gave them different words or concepts to transfer. Each group then drew a message about it. The groups then exchanged their message and interpreted them to each other. These are actual messages that the participant drew. If words are drawn on it, the message is immediately understood. This time, the goal was to communicate without using language. So when we showed drawn a message, we removed the written text message. The theme was food. It may be a message that only Earth's people can understand. If ETs receive this, they will not understand it. However, the people who painted the message tried their best to transfer them in an easily recognizable way. This is a second theme drawn by participants. What do you think this message is trying to transfer? The theme was land. It was a difficult subject, so I was very impressed with their hard work as they tried to get their head around it. The secret theme behind this scene is the difficulty of trying to understand each other. And this is also important for understanding diversity in the real world on Earth. I wanted them to know that it is very difficult to get a message across to non-Earth person. Some of the child participants were using arrows. The arrows were only understood by the people on Earth. Children didn't understand that. It may be too difficult to get the children to draw the messages. In both parts, we designed it TPP to join the audience into performance activity, not only sitting at a lecture. We know such a style is boring through the school lessons. We ask as many questions and answer as possible. We have some reflections. First, we need to make sure that students in the lower grade of elementary school can understand. Even they can understand at least a part of our message. Next, we need to think about how to talk to people who know less than we expected. For example, we talk using short sentences. We should not use technical terms nor some complicated words. These are future works. We want to continue our work on this TPP. We also want to work to raise the profile of the TPP. There are a few other things we wanted to do in this TPP. For example, the universe as seen in multi-wavelengths, gravitational lensing, and solar system work. We want to use this experience to make presentation on other topics. Thank you.
Thank you for presenters. Any questions or comments? Please stop the screen sharing. Kasai さん、画面共有を終わらせてください。はい。Thank you. We have not yet get any questions or comment in Q&A window. If you have any questions or comment, please raise your hand. Or just directly give a voice using your own microphone. Any questions or comment? Okay, actually, this is first English presentation by them. So both of them are my students, and I'm very proud to such a good presentation, even in foreign language. So so it is difficult to say to make a question by me. So please give some comments or questions. The Aviva tell you your very nice presentation, and the several other persons type in by chat field. It's a very good English and very good ideas, and the very nice and clear talk, and many good response. And from the Robert Harlow, instead in your approach to SETI, interested in your approach to SETI. So that Robert Harlow is the member of the Australian radio astronomer. So he should have great interest in the SETI communication because of as you know, now in Australia and in South Africa, the SKA is starting to build, and one of the big target of the SKA telescope is to find extraterrestrial communication signal from the extraterrestrial intelligence. So hopefully, or not hopefully, but you have a chance to send a pictorial message to some actual planet. Okay, the one question has come. I think that's a very good idea. How often do you plan to do this? どれぐらいの頻度でやろうと思っていますかっていう質問です。
頻度だ1年に1回だから。
英語で言ってよ。Now they are planned to once a year or so. So but unfortunately now it's COVID-19 pandemic situation. It is difficult to have actual presentation. But in the last spring event, it's a joint event with Science Museum. So we will present to have a next chance to make it in the museum. Okay? No other questions or comment? Then okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.